I had the opportunity last week to meet with Congressman Paul Ryan. How many of you have heard of Congressman Paul Ryan? Paul Ryan is, I think, one of the best congressmen in the country. He represents Wisconsin. He wrote a budget that was passed by the House last week. You know, our federal government has not passed a budget in 3 years. Congressman Ryan proposed a budget. It passed the House. It failed the Senate. I had an opportunity to visit with him about the direction our country was going and to listen to some of his concerns and just kind of talk to him one-on-one. It is crucial that Paul Ryan has been a leader in Congress. He was elected in '98. He just hasn't gone in there and pushed a button. Anyone could do that. We could send our kids to do that. Just say push the red button or push the blue button. We need leaders who will stand up and take an effective role and lead this country back to a lot of its founding constitutional principles. And I think that that's what separates me from the rest of the pack. Secondly, Congress operates on a seniority system. You walk into Congress, you're not going to make changes day one in and of yourself. You have to work with other people. Congressman Ryan was in Congress 8 years before he became chairman of the Budget Committee. That's why he is such an effective congressman, is because he understands the system. He is a true conservative, and he's chairman of the Budget Committee in the House of Representatives. It took him 8 years to get to that point. Most of the Republicans in this race have said they'll serve 4 or 6 years and voluntarily leave. If that happens, we do not have a chance to have leadership in the 2nd District because you cannot attain enough seniority to be on a committee of any consequence in 4 years or 6 years. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be chairman of a committee in 4 years or 6 years, or even get on a good committee within 4 years or 6 years. I had the opportunity to talk to Congressman Ryan about, if I'm elected, which committee I could serve on. I think that's key to moving this country toward the goal that we need to move it toward, and that's constitutional values. Getting our budget balanced and getting a budget balance amendment to the United States Constitution. Those are crucial to turning this country around. Little short snippets at it are not going to do any good, right? Tom Coburn represented this district for 6 years in Congress and did a very good job. But when he left, we got one of the most liberal Democrats we've ever seen represent this district. I don't want to see that happen. And so what I'm telling you all, I'm not going to term limit myself automatically. You'll be the judge of how long I stay. As long as I'm doing my job, it'll be up to you. But secondly, I won't leave and let Nancy Pelosi stay and Henry Waxman stay and leave them more powerful than when we found them. Because when we leave and they stay, they control the committees, they control the agenda. That is what has happened to the conservative movement. After the contract with America, many of the Republicans term limited themselves, the Democrats stayed in control, and that's why Henry Waxman was chairman of his committee and moved many of the liberal agenda forward during the early part of this decade. So those are some of the issues that separate me from the rest of the candidates. I want to